Hello, it's the third week of the fourth quarter and I'm still here, Ma'am Ruth Bell, your teacher on the go. Class, we're still on judging the relevance and worth of ideas, soundness of authors' reasoning, and effectiveness of the presentation. But specifically, we are going to talk about evidences, mga ebidensya.
As we warm up, let us analyze the two statements here. Statement A. It is going to rain because it is cloudy. The wind is picking up and the air smells damp. Statement B. All Filipinos are generous and kind like Senator Manny Pacquiao. Now, which of the two statements do you agree with? And what made you agree with the statement you have chosen? In responding to the things that we hear or see, it's important to assess the weight of the evidence used to support it. And the evidence is the available body of facts or information indicating whether a belief or proposition is true or valid. In other words, evidence is the bit of fact or an information that will tell whether the idea that you've heard or have seen is true. Here are the steps in analyzing and evaluating the validity of evidence. Step number 1, argumentation. You're going to identify the point or claim the author is trying to prove. Step number 2, specificity. You're going to identify specific facts, data, statistics, or examples that support the point. Step number 3, relevance. You're going to explain how the pieces of evidence are related to the claim. Let us study this example. And here's the statement. We should set a limit to our game time. In my experience, spending so much on computer games prevents me from submitting my modules on time, which resulted to failing grades. So again, the first step is argumentation or identifying the point or claim of the author. And in this statement, the point or the claim of the author is we should set a limit in playing computer games. Step number 2, specificity or identifying the facts or data that would support the point. In this statement, the evidence is, in my experience, spending so much on computer games prevents me from submitting my modules on time, which resulted to failing grades. And this type of evidence is called as anecdotal evidence. The last step, which is relevance or looking for the connection of the evidences to the point of the author. In this case, step number 3 is showing us that the evidence reflects the possible outcome of excessive online gaming based on the speaker's experiences. Meaning to say, the point is proven by the experience of the author himself. Going back to our warm-up activity earlier, which of the two statements has the evidence? Is it statement A or statement B? Let us proceed to the 4 types of evidence. The first type is statistical evidence. It is known as the strongest type of evidence. It comes in a form of number, percentage, or survey type data. Examples of statistical evidence: 75% of women in Tayaba City, 8 out of 10 pediatricians recommend, 16 members of the legislative agreed upon. So 75%, 8 out of 10, and 16 are statistical evidences. In other words, statistical evidences pertain to numbers. The second type of evidence is what we call testimonial evidence. Use of celebrities is the core of this second type of evidence. However, experts and authorities can also be used to collect testimonial evidence. So this is the use of celebrities or famous and credible people as evidences. Example, Heart Evangelista, a well-known actress and fashion buff, recommends that Olay lotion is good in our skin. The third type of evidence is anecdotal evidence. it is often dismissed as untrustworthy and meaningless. So it is the use of the speaker's personal experience. So he or she is telling his own story to prove his point. Example, after living for decades in Quezon, I can honestly say that the people there are kind and hospitable. The fourth type of evidence is analogical evidence. It is regarded as the weakest evidence. So when information about something is scarce and little is known, analogical evidence is often used in a formal argument to increase credibility of the proof. It is the use of comparing two things to prove the point of the author. For example, if we are going to ban firearms, we should also ban cars because they cause many more deaths than firearms do. So in this case, we are comparing banning firearms to banning cars. It is because of the deaths that they cause. Let us go to your learning tasks for this week. So you have learning task 1 and learning task 2. For learning task 1, you have letter A, which is about the speech of Angelina Jolie. After reading it, you have to answer the 3 questions that follow. And then letter B, the article is about teenage mothers. And then you have also 3 questions with choices. For learning task 2, you have to read the transcribed speech of Jack Simons, and then you're going to complete the diagram that follows. So you have their evidence 1, you're going to write the evidence and then identify the type of evidence. Then at the right side, you have evidence 2 and then identify the type of evidence. And in the middle, you have to write the claim or the main point of the author. So that's it for our week 3. You have evidence, type of evidence, and you have to answer learning task 1 and learning task 2. Happy learning, everyone. Keep safe and God bless you all.